It's Follow Friday.
Charlie, let's move on to your next follow. I asked you for someone you're jealous of, and you said Cat Zhang, who is on Twitter at CatZhang1, and that's spelled CatZhang, and then the number 1. Cat is an award-winning assistant editor at Pitchfork, and she specifically covers the intersection of music and internet culture, which means I should probably get her on this show ASAP.
100%.
But why does she make you jealous?
Just because she finds stories that I wish I'd covered. You know, there's people who work in your field who you're always watching of like, wow, you got the story that I wish I found. And I think that she not only reliably does that, but also has a way of thinking about the role of internet and music in a way that I'm never capable of doing. What I mean specifically is that she frequently covers the TikTok beat, which I think is an extremely hard thing to cover. A, because we all have specific algorithms. So like, how do you know how to cover a TikTok?
Exactly.
The actual navigating it is hard enough. But TikTok for me puts me in a total malaise, an absolute stupor. It's the thing of just melt the brain escapism. And she's able to apply the critical theory level of thinking around what's happening on TikTok and then write highly entertaining, very well done journalism about TikTok culture.
Yeah, because like there are certain songs that I think of as TikTok songs that, you know, are more like meme songs where they're playing underneath videos. But it's also this incredibly important launching platform for new artists, right? Like this is the place where they are all fighting it out now to get noticed. Can their songs be used in a TikTok video?
Totally. And the thing is, I think that most how did a song happen via TikTok stories are not interesting because it's like there was a song, someone made a silly video, that silly video went viral, that became a trend, that song is now huge. That story has been told many times and people have made music careers out of it. Now, it is like trying to play the lottery. It's a very hard thing to get that to happen. But this story around it's not that interesting. Whereas Cat is going to be like, let me tell you why this song from the 1980s, this Japanese city pop song that has not had a major life in forever, actually has had much larger cultural resonance, where it comes from, why it's happening. It's not completely random. And I'm going to write a 10,000 word feature-length article about it and totally blow your mind. Now, full disclosure, we had Kat come on our show and re-report that story to us about Japanese city pop.
Okay, so here's another thing you're going to have to define, which is, what is Japanese city pop?
Japanese city pop is a genre of music that was very big in the 1980s. That is a very laid-back, groovy kind of thing that is its own music. You might feel some genre connections to disco, fusion, jazz, new wave, maybe even yacht rock. And it was sort of like peak 80s Japanese economies booming. It feels like 80s music.
And so it's come back thanks to the internet, thanks to TikTok and other folks who have sort of found a way to incorporate the sound of city pop into what they're making, like new music that they're making, right?
There's a whole little mystery that you have to uncover, and I'm not going to tell you this one right now because you either got to go read Kat's article about the history of Japanese city pop or you can listen to her on our show.
Yeah, spoilers. Well, yeah, so without spoiling anything too grand, what's something from one of Kat's appearances on your show, either about TikTok or about city pop, what's something that she has taught you that has, I don't know, surprised you, blown your mind?
She first came on the show a couple of years back to report on when TikTok was having its first wave, and she was able to define some very particular aesthetics that exist on TikTok, particularly that there is a desire to show things in a very kind of DIY sort of way. We see artists like Lil Nas X going on TikTok with the blurriest background, nothing high fidelity, and the music that was preferred on the platform started to mirror that. You know, so specifically, people would create bass that sounded really bad, earth-shaking, distorted, kind of like what bad bass sounds like coming out of your iPhone or out of your laptop.
Right.
They would actually want that sound to be the sound in the underlying track because it sounded more real, if you will. And so I think that the visual component of TikTok has had a very significant impact on the kinds of sounds that people want to hear. Less polished, more sounds like you could have just done it in your bedroom and recorded it with your phone.
Is that of a piece with that YouTube video that everyone watches, it lo-fi beats to study and relax to or whatever. Is that lo-fi? Is that the same thing, or is that a different musicologically? Is that a different thing?
I think that's a different phenomenon because that's more of a YouTube phenomenon. We've reported on that one as well, and that's more people truly needing something to do in the background. Obviously, a lot of music on TikTok is in the background, but one of the other trends that she talked about is that a great TikTok song often needs to have a significant moment of change or like some kind of funny sound effect that would then accompany a strong visual moment. You know, it's kind of like music that works well to slapstick kind of comedy.
Yeah, I guess going back to Lil Nas X again, like Old Town Road, the song that made him crazy famous, it has that drop where suddenly the song shifts from this plausibly could be a country song into, no, this is a proper, hip-hop beat. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's just when a content creator is going to make some wild visual change on their video.
Exactly. That's when everyone turns into cowboys for the Yeehaw challenge, yeah. Well, before we move on to your next follow, is there anything else we should say about Cat? Like anything else about her writing or anything else that makes her such a great follow?
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, following music can be a kind of inside baseball. You know, a lot of Pitchfork was developed off of sub-scenes of music of people who are really dedicated to reading blogs. I think everybody should read Cat's writing because she has a way of connecting music to larger issues within culture. And it's so smart and so well researched and so well written that it's music writing that everybody should read.
Very well said. Well, that was Cat Zhang, who is on Twitter at CatZhang1.